You know, there are enormous changes going on in the field of higher education and also in the workplace, and I think the legislature recognized that when it last year gave UW-Madison as well as UW system the flexibility to create our own HR personnel system. It's really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity and very exciting for all of us who are involved in the project as well as the entire campus. As Chancellor Ward has mentioned, it's important for us to be careful stewards of our resources. And here at UW, where knowledge is really our currency, our most important resource is our people, our talent. And we're designing this new HR system to make sure that we can attract, develop, and retain the best talent. The legislation requires us to have our new system in place by July 1st of 2013. So what we're trying to do, and what we will do over the next year or so, is develop a system, an HR personnel system, that enables UW-Madison to be an employer of choice. We want to create a system that has much more flexibility than the current system. We want that system to be efficient, we want it to be effective, we want it to be flexible, we want it to be transparent, and we want it to be consistent. Those are some of the sort of the pillars of our vision for this new system. How it will affect the typical UW-Madison employee, I think it'll make it more efficient for us to hire talent, to bring talent into our workforce. I think you'll see a greater connection between compensation and performance. I think you'll see more of a focus on how we can help our employees develop and build their competencies. And also we're focusing on things like workplace flexibility to make sure that we enable our employees to balance their personal lives with their professional lives. We've actually put together a set of fundamental principles or parameters that we're going to be working around. And sometimes it's, in addition to talking about what the new system is going to look like, it's important to emphasize those aspects of our culture and our personnel system that we will not be tinkering with. For example, the categories of faculty and academic staff will remain as they are now. Tenure will remain as it is now. The governance rights of those groups will remain as they are now. Although we do have some flexibility around benefits, we will still be in the state system for Wisconsin retirement system, health insurance, sick leave conversion, which I know is on a lot of people's minds, and also income continuation insurance. So we will stay in those benefit programs, even though we do have some flexibility to expand beyond them. Employees who currently have employment protections, right of appeal, just cause, those protections will remain in place. We will be taking a look at the compensation system, but the new HR system will not reduce anyone's base pay, nor will it result in reductions in force or layoffs. So those things are really off the table for the HR design project. This new system is going to affect everyone on this campus. And we have worked very hard to make this not just something that only involves the HR community. We worked very hard and intentionally to include people on the advisory committee, on the work teams, and in the various ways that we're interacting with the campus, people who are on the front lines who are going to be applying this new HR system day in and day out to make sure that we have the right people with the right skills in the right places at the right time. So we really can't do this without the support and involvement of the entire campus. We have commissioned 11 work teams that are taking a look at the 11 basic components of a personnel system organized roughly around the employee life cycle, starting with recruitment and selection, employee development, compensation and benefits, and extending all the way to succession planning and transition. We have a team focusing specifically on employee development, and they are right now assessing the current state of employee development on the campus, and they'll be identifying ways that we can improve our ability to help our employees identify and develop the competencies they need to be successful. We also have several other teams that are focusing on job classifications, job titles, compensation, workplace flexibility, succession, that will also feed into the goal of helping our employees develop. But I think it's also important to mention and to emphasize that managers and supervisors today should be working with their employees to identify developmental opportunities and then meet those developmental needs. We don't need a new personnel system for that to happen. Well, the goal is to ensure that UW-Madison is an employer of choice, that we are competitive for the absolute best talent, the people we need to be successful. And we also continue to attract and maintain a diverse workforce. And in order to be competitive for talent, you have to have a hiring system that is efficient and effective. You have to have a compensation system that is competitive. You have to focus on employee development, and you also have to enable your employees to draw the balance between their professional lives and their personal lives, to have that work-life balance. Well, it's hard to say right now what the specific details of the new HR system are going to be, but I think for the typical UW employee, we'll see a system that enables us to, in a more efficient and timely way, bring in new talent to the organization. I think you'll see a closer relationship between compensation and performance. I think you're going to see more of a focus on employee development, building our employees' competencies, and I think you're going to see more of a focus on making sure that our employees understand what their career paths are and how they can access them.